Hi, this is cybersecurity expert Reginald Andre, and welcome to our YouTube channel. I'm part of the ARC Solvers team, which is the #1 cybersecurity company in South Florida. And today we're talking about how property managers needs to be sure that their residents' communications and access control and elevators are secure so that they are not going to get a cyber attack. Many times I'm talking with property managers and they tell me, hey, Andre, everything is great. All our data is in the cloud. We don't have to worry about cyber protection. Our management company is taking care of everything for us. So we remote into our systems with our management companies. But what they fail to realize is that you still have resident information locally on your network. And those two items are your elevator systems and your access control. So with the access control, let me just grab my keys here. You have these things here. I actually have two, one for my building at the office, and then another one, which is for my condo where I live. And these access controls, of course, is how you can get into the common areas, and then in my case, also into the unit of my door. So if I wanted to go to the gym, if I wanted to go to the clubhouse, the pool, I need that fob to be able to get into these places. And for people in high rises, it's the same concept. You go to the elevator, and you basically will press the button to go up. And then from there, in order to go on your floor or to go directly into your unit, you have to use that fob to then get access to your unit. And what is happening is that there was a incident of one condominium here in South Florida where a ransomware attack actually affected the database of the fob. And what that meant was that residents were no longer able to go to the units with their fob, and that the management company actually had to just what is called open up the doors, where as long as if you push 15th floor, before you would need the fob to go to that 15th floor, but because they left everything open, anybody can go to the 15th floor and go to your floor or to go directly to your unit. And this was because that there was a ransomware attack on the access control and elevator computer, which actually held the database. So as I mentioned before, yes, it's great that your information, it's great that your management company may have things in the cloud. You still have stuff locally on your computers that you need to secure for your resident. And in this case, it was a cyber attack that I'm giving you an example. And with that cyber attack, it crippled this condominium, because even with the cars, residents have the tag readers on the side of the car. So when they're going up in the garage, the gate can open and let them in. It was also corrupted. So what did they have to do? They had to open up the gate and leave it up 24/7. Now, in this case, they were able to afford to have a security guard. Well, I don't want to say being able to afford. They had no choice but to hire a security guard and just check the ID of the residents to make sure that they belong going into the building. But some buildings may not be able to afford that, and they may just have to leave it up until the situation is fixed. And that means that anybody can go inside the garage, and they can, a thief can literally just drive up and just open doors or do whatever they have to do. And of course, in South Florida, a majority of these condominiums are very wealthy buildings, and it's just a big risk. So with cyber attacks, it's not only about the data, it's not only about the residents' information, but it's also about the access control, the elevator systems. And in the case of the access control, those are also at risk to getting cyber hacked, because with the access control, if, for example, that database is corrupt, what we've seen is that now the board has to make a decision. Do they want to now pay the ransom so that all the residents' fobs can go back working? Or do they just want to say, you know what, we're going to have to just wipe everything, wipe the system, get a new computer, and reprogram the fobs? But if you are a property manager, if you're a board member and you have 300, 400 units. And of course, every unit typically will have at least 2 or 3 fobs per unit, because you have, the wife, the husband, the kids, the housekeeper, so you have a lot of fobs out there. You can easily have thousands of fobs out there. And when you have to now look at the risk versus the reward, do I pay the ransom? And now, hopefully by tomorrow, this nightmare is gone. Our fobs are working. Our elevator system is working. Or do I not pay the ransom and now inconvenience hundreds and hundreds of residents in my building to reprogram the fob? So that means now you have to get new stickers for the side of the car, right? That means now each resident has to bring back their fob, and that fob has to be reprogrammed to be able to open up the common areas and to be able to go into the units. And of course, you're going to have some residents that they just can't physically go to the office between 9 and 5 because of their work schedule. Maybe they're a nurse, maybe they have a nighttime job, whatever the case is, and they just can't, or they have a daytime job and they can't go at night. So now you're going to have to pay extra staff to then now go and be available for these people from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. And you're going to have staff be there at during the weekend, and it's a big pain because, as you know, when you program fobs, sometimes you program the fob, then the resident goes to check, it doesn't work, and it's just a big, massive problem. So this is why it's so important that property managers, if you're managing a condominium or if you're a board member, cybersecurity is just so much more than protecting the data of the residents, but you have access control, which is going to be the fobs, and then you have also the elevator system. And God forbid one of these hackers gets access to this elevator system and they decide to just start playing games on the elevator systems, or they just decide to just do something very, very bad with these elevator systems. They just can be really bad. So definitely make sure that you are securing your system. That I've seen a lot of times where these computers are still running outdated operating systems, which just asking to be hacked. So just make sure that you speak with your access control vendor, you speak with your elevator company vendor, and you ask them, where is this database being hosted? Let your IT company know where this database is being hosted, because a lot of times those two vendors are not talking to each other. So elevator company may say, look, we don't do backup of this database, that's for IT. And then IT can then come back and says, well, you never told us we needed to back this up. And now you're gonna have two vendors pointing the fingers at each other, and you as the property manager and you as the board member, you're just gonna be looking bad in front of your residents. And it's just bad all around. So we will see you tomorrow when we continue our final topic regarding condominiums. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to our page so you can stay about all we go live on. Thank you.